Every person is more than themselves. He or she represents the special, the unique meeting point in which converges the world's events once, just once and never again. Every story of every person is important, eternal and holy. I'm Meyer Eidelson and I'm the owner of Melbourne Walks. I'm a walk leader in the city of Melbourne and the suburbs of Melbourne, and I own the company Melbourne Walks. So I started running walks and tours when I was involved in the environmental movement and the Aboriginal civil rights movement and the historical movements in the 1990s. And at first it was to raise money for those causes, and it was a way of supplementing the income of those organisations by running walks. And the city of Melbourne started to boom, and I was always running walks for 20 years part-time, and I started to expand and run them for schools. And then as the city picked up and became the most livable city in the world, as they say, the demand grew. I started running walks for the Centre for Adult Education, and 2 years ago I started running them full-time. Although it's a business and an income, it's also a way of giving back as well. So we're involved in many community projects. We're involved with our fellow citizens in concerted actions to keep the fabulous environment that we've inherited. Being a tour leader is all-encompassing. We've got to advertise the walks, find the clients, book them in, and then take care of them and make sure they're well looked after as well as insured and happy and content, and that they have some kind of experience that they can go home and tell all their friends about and say, wow, do you know what I did today? Primarily above and beyond and everything else, we're storytellers. We tell stories, we interpret stories, and which is why I'm a writer as well. So I started writing books and then for organisations for free, and then they'd sell them and derive income for that. So one of the earliest walks I wrote was a children's story to raise funds for the penguins on St Kilda Breakwater. So I headed up the campaign from Earthcare, which created the sanctuary there. That has expanded, and generally I've written 15 books about Melbourne so far. The walks and the books focus again on the secret or hidden sides of the city. Well, we like to think of tours as theatre of the street, and that everybody is a participant in a drama, a once only unique event in history, where they're walking in time through a street and events are happening on that day at that time, and that we're creating history as well as looking at history of the past. And that history that happened in those early years is largely lost. But 20 years ago in the CBD, in the heart of Melbourne, there were 200 residents of the city of Melbourne. So that 220 years has gone to 50,000. That is a dramatic change. So again, we're recovering that from the landscape and bringing it into the present. And the more we bring it into the present, the more people have an idea of their own personal histories and their past and their country's past, which is very important. The most interesting part of the job, I guess, is three things. One is the research and preparation. That's fascinating. Digging up secrets or finding out things about the landscape in which you live, which you never knew before. The other is the people you meet. I mean, I've got to know a lot of the traders in the city, some of them in their 90s, extraordinary people. And the third thing is just simply the buzz of human contact. The thing is, they've entrusted you with their time for you to give them a genuine new way of looking at the world, of the perception of their landscape. And that's a huge privilege to be in that position of trust. And so the best thing about it is when you've done a tour or an activity and people are just happy. I mean, they're just happy, they're really pleased. They're going to go home and say to their friends, wow, do you know what I did today? Now that is a tremendous buzz, and that's probably what keeps us going from day to day. Well, I feel like everything I've done in my life has kind of led to me running a tour company. Everything has led to me to where I am, and all those skills, you know, whether it's group work or whether it's, you know, heritage or environmental knowledge, they've all, or it's Aboriginal issues, they've all come together because It's the only thing I found in my life that uses all those skills. They all come to bear in the Walks program, so I don't think that I'm going anywhere soon. I'm perfectly happy to walk till I drop.